So Seiza stretch is a hold that is going to give us full knee flexion, and it's going to help open up plantar flexion in our ankles. So really important position people to get into if we're going to push through the foot or have a nice deep squat position and healthy knees. So a couple of things we're going to work on here is being able to hold in this position. The knees want to be level with the hips and the ankles, so we're in a nice straight line. We don't have the knees wider than the feet or the feet wider than the knees. The other thing we want to try and be able to achieve here is getting a nice stacked position. So our ear is over our shoulder is over our hip, and our hip is over the top of that ankle, so we can get the most amount of load through those tissues. Now that can be quite intense if you've had ankle sprains or if you've got really tight and stiff knees. So I'm going to show you some regressions to help build up and find this position. So the first thing we're going to look at is knee flexion. So if your knees are really sore and really tight through the thighs, getting into that position, we can use a half roller. If you don't have this, you can easily use a rolled up towel or some cushions and just place those in behind the knee and sit back. Okay. Ideally, again, we're getting over the back, so we're stacked on top of that ankle. That should take some pressure off the knees. Okay. Another option here, if you find that's too easy, is you can move that further back. That'll give you a bit more knee flexion until we can sit all the way back and find an opening through our knees. What you might have noticed there is when I sat back here, if I'm still really tight through the ankles, I'm not going to be able to get stacked on top. So you might feel like you lean forward. The goal is to be stacked over the top. So if you can't get there, just grab some yoga blocks in your hands and just gently start to build the range, taking some load through your hands until you can get stacked and on top. From that position, once that gets easy, as I said, you can then change the angle of the roller. If you find you've got full knee flexion already, you can get all the way back, but it's hard to get into those ankles. Just use the yoga blocks. You can gently and over time start to get taller in the position, dropping those down, less load through the hands, and we can hold that full range position eventually where we're nice and stacked and on top of those angles.